Hello, this is Ruby from the Useful Journal. I am showing my February theme again because I have now painted it. So when I showed it before, it was just a black and white outline, the pen, because I didn't have time to finish this before I went overseas to Canada. So I have now painted it and I wanted to share what it looked like painted. I have to say, this is my spread. So I went dog sledding in Canada, and so the idea was that I would have me sitting on the beach in Australia dreaming of what it would be like to dog sled in Canada, and this is my dog Bailey, and he's thinking about the dogs. He didn't get to come, obviously. So yeah, I've got these spreads and they were all so useful. These are my tasks. I had some before I went away and then some now. I had a packing list. I had my basically month planner. I had, this is a specific schedule of all the places I was going to be and where I needed to be at what time, and phone numbers, all the important stuff. This I used while I was away, and then I've come home and transferred the information onto here. It was basically little things that I could do in each of the places I was going to be: Vancouver, Whitehorse and Whistler. Obviously I've shortened them to fit them in, but yeah, it ended up being really useful. I've shared a short video about my weather tracker because I love how this turned out. It shows that I've had temperatures between 36 and minus 35 degrees Celsius in the last 3 weeks, and it just looks really cool. I'm really pleased I did it because it was just such a difference in temperature to experience, and so it's nice having that record, and it looks really cool. So really glad I did that. Then I've got my trip highlights, which I have now filled in with photos that I printed with my Sprocket printer, and I'm really happy with how that turned out. And then what I've done is I've just got the 2 basic spreads for my sleep, mood, liquid and activity. I recorded them while I was away and transferred them, and just in case you missed the short video about that, I took photocopies of my spreads with me overseas, and so these spreads I was able to use these while I was away. For instance, this one you can see has rough notes all over it, and that's what I've transferred in. I was able to note down changes to my schedule, and I used these photocopies to record these things, my trackers, while I was away. So when I've come home, I've transferred that into my actual journal. But what I've done with my actual journaling, so while I was away, I took a little book and I just wrote down on the pages my journal, and I was thinking of either just, first I thought, oh, I could transfer it, and then I thought, why would I do that? It's fine how it is. The other idea I had was just doing tip-ins, so putting tape along here and tipping them in, but there's slightly, unfortunately the page I used is slightly bigger than my journal page. It is A5, but it's just slightly bigger, so it would have stuck out. So what I decided to do instead was just create these little pockets with some decorative paper I had and just stuck it down with washi. And I have, for each week, I've just stuck my journaling notes into that pocket. That's there for week 1, and I've just added a little note there. That's a painting I did while I was away. My week 2, again, I have my journaling. I journaled more than I expected as well, so because there was lots of things I wanted to write about, including just what dog sledding is like and how it all works. So I journaled more than expected, so that's why I've ended up just doing this pocket idea. And then week 3, another pocket. This is the last pocket for the notes while I was away. This is a bit of a bigger chunk of paper, but fits in there. And I've added a few extra notes here and stuck in another photo from my sprocket. And then I go to the rest of the month. So from here on, I will just journal for the remainder of the month. And I have another, not many pages, I've only got 2.5 pages left in this journal. It has made, this journal was already quite chunky, but putting those journal pages in like that has made it particularly chunky now. So definitely need the elastic to close it. But that is the end of my notebook therapy journal. Just got another week to go for the end of February, and then I'll move into my next journal. So I love when I am able to kind of work it out so perfectly that it all fits in the one journal, with only a couple of pages left. And I was a bit scared to do the watercolour painting of these, but I think it's worked out okay. And yeah, as I said earlier, the spreads for travelling were perfect. The only thing I would change is probably allow more room for this particular planning one, so that I could have more room to record ideas of things to do while I'm away. That would have allowed me to separate out Vancouver and Vancouver Island, for instance, and I wasn't able to fit in the details of all the stationery shops I visited, which I had scribbled on my notes. So yeah, that is my completed spreads, almost complete, for February. Hope you like them. Bye.